The French Foreign Legion, for almost 200 years, it's been the symbol of pure, brutal discipline. It's a place for guys with no other options and, honestly, one of the most secretive military forces on the planet. So you gotta wonder, what does it really take to get in? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on that insane selection process, the one that turns a regular person into a legionary. All right, let's get into it. You hear that and you know right away. That's not just a casual warning. No, that's a guarantee from the instructors. The second you step through those gates, you're in their world. And in that world, weakness, it just doesn't exist. The whole idea is to completely tear you down to nothing so they can build you back up their way. And look, the numbers absolutely back this up. Picture this. Every single year, 8,000 men from all corners of the world show up at the Legion's door. Out of all of them, only 1 in 8 gets in. 1 in 8. I mean, the odds are just stacked against you from the very first second. The filtering process is immediate and it is completely unforgiving. So who are these guys? Who would willingly sign up for odds like that? Well, they come from literally everywhere. Every guy is carrying his own story, his own baggage, but they all want the exact same thing: a clean slate, a total do-over. So let's meet a few of them. Okay, first up, we've got Kovic from Ukraine. Now this guy, he completely breaks the stereotype. He's not some dude running from the law. He's a history professor, an academic. But believe me, his reasons for being here are every bit as desperate as the next guy's. And this is what's so fascinating, right? It's his motivation. For Kovic, the Legion isn't about escaping some criminal past. It's about escaping poverty. He's making barely 100 euros a month back home. The Legion offers a starting salary of 1,280 euros. For him, that's not just more money, that's a new life. And yeah, that's something worth risking it all for.
Next, there's Sean from Scotland. And Sean, he's kind of the guy you picture when you think of the Foreign Legion. He's running from his past, haunted by mistakes he's made. He's got kids he barely gets to see, a criminal record that slammed every other door shut. For him, this isn't just an option, it's the only option left.
I mean, you can just feel the desperation in what he's saying. He's not here for the thrill of it, not for some big adventure. He's searching for redemption. He needs a purpose, something that will give him a chance to be proud of the man in the mirror again.
And rounding out our group, we have Stan from Gabon. Stan is 21 years old, an absolute physical powerhouse, and just brimming with ambition. I mean, on paper, he looks like the perfect recruit. He looks like he was practically built in a lab to crush the Legion's physical tests.
And his story just shows you the insane level of commitment you need. Stan didn't just pack a bag and leave, he cut himself off. He straight up told his family, "You might not hear from me for 5 years. That is a clean break. It's a complete surrender of your old life." Okay, so before the Legion cares one bit about who you were or what you did, they need to know one thing. What can your body handle? This is the first big hurdle, what they call the Great Filter. It's a pure physical gauntlet. They're trying to find your limit, push you right to it, and see if you've even got the basic physical stuff to be a candidate. So the whole thing kicks off at a fort near Paris, a place called Nogent. You can think of it as this systematic process of elimination. You go through these stages, and at any single one, for pretty much any reason, boom, you're out. So let's see how our guys do in this first round. And right out of the gate, you see a massive difference. You've got Stan, the athlete, who just cruises through the pull-up test. He doesn't just pass, he smashes the record with 24 pull-ups. And then you have Sean, who's just fighting for every single rep. He barely makes it to 9 before he's completely spent. It's harsh, it's public, and it's a raw measure of where you stand physically. But being physically fit, that's just the price of admission. It's only half the battle. If you manage to get through those first physical tests, you unlock the next level, and trust me, it's way more intense. We're talking about this psychological deep dive, where they put every single piece of your past life under a microscope. You know, everyone talks about the Legion giving guys a second chance, right? But it's not a free pass. It's not a get-out-of-jail-free card. There are some things you can't come back from, even here. So the real question is, what secrets are just too heavy for the French Foreign Legion? So you go into this room and everything comes out. Your life is an open book. We're talking investigators digging into your phone, your bank records, your social media. They're running your name through Interpol, every police database you can think of. They tell you to be 100% honest. But as one guy finds out the hard way, sometimes the truth gets you sent home. Case in point, a Dutch guy named Shirt.
He was there for the same reason as Sean, trying to outrun a criminal record. And he was honest. He told them everything about his past with international drug trafficking. But that was too much. That was the line. And just like that, his shot at a new life was over, right there in that room. But for the guys who do get through the security check, the transformation starts to get real. Their old names? Gone. The Legion gives them a new one. Stan is now Apunga. Sean is now Robert. It's powerful, right? It's basically the symbolic death of who you used to be. It's the very first step to becoming someone else entirely, a legionary. All right, so the guys who survive Nojen get shipped south to Aben. This is the Legion's headquarters, its heart and soul. And let me tell you, if they thought things were hard before, they have no idea what's coming. The whole vibe changes the second they arrive. The pressure just goes from 10 to 100, to a level that feels almost impossible. Suddenly, your entire existence is a race against the clock. Everything is a timed, frantic drill. You get 1 minute to shower. Go. 4 minutes to find your cup in your bag. Go. 5 minutes to make your wardrobe perfect. Everything you owned, every link to your old life, is gone. They control every single second of your day, and there is zero room for mistakes. None. So, after weeks of this non-stop grind, both physical and mental, the final day comes. It's Judgment Day. All the guys left standing are lined up on the parade ground, waiting to hear the verdict. Is all that pain and effort about to pay off? Or was it all for nothing? And this is where it all gets turned upside down. Stan, the super athlete, he's out, rejected. Sean, the guy who needed this more than anyone, rejected. Shirt, who told the truth about his past, also rejected. But Kovic, the history professor from Ukraine who just needed a job, he gets in. He's selected. And that tells you everything, doesn't it? It's not about who's strongest. The Legion is looking for a completely different kind of person. And Stan, he's just sent packing. No reason given. He'll probably go the rest of his life wondering why he wasn't good enough. That final decision is a complete black box. And what he says really hits home. It's the tough truth of it all. The Legion knows exactly what profile they're looking for. And if you're not it, all the pull-ups in the world won't make a difference. But for the handful of guys who do make it, like Kovic, this isn't the end of the test. It's not even close. This is the starting line for something even harder. Now they face 4 months of basic training, and that is where the real pain starts. All they've won is a ticket to an even tougher challenge. And really, that gets you right to the heart of what the Legion is all about. It's this place built on the promise of transformation, but it demands a total sacrifice. It forces you to grapple with this fundamental question. To build a new life, must you first let the old one die?